British Indian entrepreneur Rajesh Agrawal, Chairman and Chief Executive of RationalFX. Rajesh, thank you so much for joining us on City Chat Central. Talk to me a little bit about, I was reading your notes, and actually a point which you make, which some investors tend to forget, is that we sometimes put India in the same basket as China, but it's two very different societies, it's two very different economies, and as you point out, India is a democracy. So although there may be hurdles for certain corporations to go into India, in the long run, I guess it's more beneficiary.
Yes, absolutely. India and China are very, very different. India is a democratic country, and for last 20-25 years, we have not even seen a single party government. So it's not just a normal democracy, it's a coalition, and coalition could be more than 10 parties at one go. So sometimes decision making is slow, but in the long run, it's not beneficial. India is also culturally very different. There are several states, different languages. One part of India looks totally different from another part of India. It's almost like a Europe in itself. So of course it will have its own challenges in implementing decisions, but in the long run it's more viable.
But do you think it'll be very difficult for a lot of big corporations to get into India? We're seeing already the difficulties that certain retailers are having. How much do you have to cater for local tastes, but also local upheaval? If there's social movements saying actually we don't want foreigners in this particular industry.
I think there is not much to be concerned about. This whole debate about FDI in the retail foreign sector is highly overrated. I think there's not as much to worry about. Indian retailers, smaller ones, are highly resilient, and of course, whichever country you need to go, you have to adapt to the local taste. I was just reading that McDonald's is now opening its first vegetarian-only restaurant in India. So you have to adapt to local taste. Think global and act local.
Even for retailers, I guess the difference, I mean, McDonald's is a great point and a great analogy, but supermarkets is really where you shop. It's a very personal experience. It's where you shop for food for your family. Is there going to be a backlash for some of these retailers, or you don't think so?
No, I don't think so. I think small retailers have got a very strong relationship with the consumer. They even offer credit. They know the whole family. The consumer picks up the phone and the retailers delivers it at home. So they've got a very strong relationship. We are, I think, underestimating the power that small retailers, as we call them, the Kiranawallahs, have actually got over the consumer. And also don't forget, 70% of India actually still lives in villages. Walmart is not going to just go and open in the remote villages. In fact, the whole turnover of Walmart is equal to the entire retail sector of India. Over 1.2 billion people spread across thousands of miles up and down the country. So it will take a lot longer for the foreign companies to have an impact on the Indian retail sector.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing figures. Rajesh, talk to me a little bit about your company. You have a company that has turnover around £700 million. Are you finding it difficult in this kind of sluggish economic environment where possibly the government here is not helping as much as they could?
Well, our whole business proposition is that we save consumers money. And in this age of austerity, obviously everybody is looking to save money. So in fact, in certain ways, the current economic climate has even helped us. Because in the boom period, when I started the business in 2005, when I went to the consumers and said, I can actually save you money.
And just tell our viewers exactly, Rajesh, how do you save money? So a consumer comes to you, or you actually approach, and what are you offering?
Well, we basically offer them international payment services. So for instance, we've got two sides to the business, RationalFX, which focuses mostly on business clients. So we deal with about 3,000 SMEs in the UK, and then we've got ZenPay, which is an online money transfer platform.
So, but even if people say, look, I'm going to save money by going to Rajesh and his company, do you not think that the government here could do a little bit more, certainly to give funding and actually lending to small and medium enterprises?
No, absolutely, and that's, there's a lot more that needs to be done by the government to promote entrepreneurship. One example